horse.
Don't even know where to start.
How the George Nooks into Barry's Hammond. Oh, what a sweet song.
Talking about you. Might as well I
Flip the script out of that into this. Oh my goodness, at 14 after 7.
listen, I hardly know where to start. Don't be offended if I tell you you're a hell of a kind of woman. And you do something special to my love. You as a fire. Don't even know where to start.
Out of that into this.
Don't know where to start.
Barry's on your wrist, huh?
About
Flip the script, turn it around, eh?
where I
Come through at this time of the afternoon.
I've been hiding. Listen, I hardly know where to start. Don't be offended if I tell you you're a hell of a kind of woman.
Come again. Charmaine, you're in the Bahamas. Good evening to you, eh?
Where to start?
KK, blessings on the line. Oh, Caroline, how you doing? Hi. Oh, St. Mary.
Good evening, neighbor. St. Mary's great. We're having no rain.
No rain, huh? By the way, you've been enjoying your holidays. Wrapping up now to go back home. Well, not home, but yeah, you'll be flying out soon.
Yes, neighbor. I go back home on Monday.
Monday. Wow.
Something special to my love.
How was your day, neighbor?
Well, it was fantastic. Having a little cold. I think that I met someone earlier this morning, and probably they made a sneeze on me, and I'm feeling a little fluish, you know. Very cold. My sinus is draining, and but I was a bit, you know. I met a lady who bought me a bottle of spirulina with horse tonic. I wonder what that means. What it means when a lady buy you a bottle of horse tonic?
I don't know, neighbor. I just know that spirulina is it's an what am I going to call it?
Gather your thoughts and come back.
It's a supplement. Spirulina is a supplement that you take that is good for. It has high levels of antioxidants.
Uh-huh. But why would a lady buy me a bottle of horse tonic with spirulina? Why?
I don't know. Did you ask her, neighbor?
No, I didn't ask, but I've been thinking about it.
Good evening, listeners. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to ask you to tap in the box with neighbor to avoid sending a request. Also, I'm going to ask you to share the live and remember to press that white arrow and the yellow circle to repost. Thank you so much. And please, we need to get those taps in, okay? Please.
Would you
hope
suggest
you feel better, neighbor?
Yeah, would you suggest I drink any of the horse tonic?
Well, since you're not feeling well, perhaps you could. It may help you, huh? Horse tonic, is that the tonic or supplements they give to horse?
I'm kind of researching it. Huh? Why would a lady buy a man a bottle of horse tonic? I understand that.
Do you think she's suggesting that you may need some horsepower?
To drive, you know that's associated with vehicles. You know? Horsepower, straight up, cylinder, 8-cylinder.
And now 2 people in the world could be the same. You provide me with inspiration. I know I'm in the right direction. You're always there, come sun, come rain. See you as a queen and a lady. Standing diggy 2 furlongs you want it. Standing diggy 1 furlongs you want it. No, it's no way.
It's about 4 long. 4 long. Okay, how much 4 long? Okay. I got it, dear. I got it. Okay.
Keep the standard set. The only thing sweeter than my
What a show until 8 o'clock. Take stock, we're on the block with you 23 after 7 o'clock. Your neighbor in Caroline, what a combination.
Excuse me, neighbor. What do you mean by 8 o'clock?
I was saying that because I'm down with the flu and my sinus is draining. I don't know. Is it wondering?
Don't you have some paper towels?
Well, I'm gonna have to probably stand by. You just stand by, okay? Stand by. Emmanuel Brown coming through for you, my gosh. What a nice song by Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Turn around and stay tuned until 9 o'clock. Come again, Mr. Brown, huh? What a sound coming from the Prince of Reggae.
To repost the live. I don't have 170 reposts. Just remember to press that white arrow and then the yellow circle to repost the live. I beg you, please. Also, please tap the screen.
Love is the best thing in the world, you know. Love is the best thing in the world. How do you describe love, eh? Feeling you feel when you're about to feel a feeling that you've never felt before.
I'll be there all the time for you.
Good evening to Scratchies. Good evening to Scratch. My friend in Canada. Hey, Scratchy, how you doing? Great.
To dry your eyes, keep you warm. For you.
How do you describe love? It's a feeling you feel when you're about to feel a feeling you've never felt before. Having felt it, you can't describe how it feels. So you just go back in for more.
What does that mean? Pull a string to do what?
Just to get me through something. You know when them say you pull a string?
I do, but I don't know. It depends.
I'm not your friend.
Very much so, but what if it's not something I support?
Okay.
You need a string to be pulled?
You wouldn't climb any mountain, eh? You wouldn't climb any mountain for no one, not you? Uh-huh.
Yes, I would climb a mountain for my children.
Have anyone ever told you that they'd climb a mountain for you? Have anyone ever told you that? No?
No.
That'd be your strength. Your company.
Yeah, why would someone want to say that to someone? I mean, those things are kind of outdated. Those are what you call the old time lyric stuff. It doesn't work. We need actions.
So you're not a old time person. You're
No, I'm very modern. I believe that people should act and not speak. I will know your intentions based on your actions.
All right. Great.
They say actions speak louder than words.
Uh-huh. Let's get the show on the road. Good evening, everybody. 9 o'clock, huh? Take stock and stay with us. We're going to be here until 9, eh? Shining for you and you and you in Florida. All across the world. Hello Neighbor and Caroline is on. Prime time show, 7 o'clock. Yep. Let's tell you what's in the news in Jamaica today. No Ray. Then we go to the notes coming up, huh? Stay tuned, everybody. Please remember to support the program. Former Prime Minister and JLP leader Bruce Orrit Golding says that Trump's foreign policy damage could take generations to repair. Did you hear Golding today? Blistering. Wow. Bruce came out swinging today. Lots of discussions on that. Former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Orrit Bruce Golding. In the meantime, the police, they are denying that they were the ones that unalived the 4-year-old child in Granville. The police, they're saying no, they didn't do it. No. Be reasonable with me, listeners. You really think the police would do something like that? No. And you know, I want to make a point straight up here. And I think I addressed this a couple nights ago, that this term of extrajudicial killing is being misused, you know. What is extrajudicial unaliving? The police is not doing any such thing in Jamaica. You think the police is deliberately going out there to unalive persons? Anybody believe that is nonsense? That's rubbish. No, the police is not doing that. And the Prime Minister spoke about this at Power of Faith yesterday. We'll play that for you soon. Meantime, the Prime Minister is calling on the church to support the fight against violence. The Prime Minister is saying that the church should pray for the criminals. Okay, so let me play for you what the Prime Minister said at the church in Portmore. Listen to the Prime Minister.
I've also, from this platform, appealed to the gunmen and the criminals to spare the lives of the innocent people, the victims. And I've oftentimes said that sometimes the conversation and the narrative focuses more on the criminals rather than on the victims. Today, I appeal to the criminals and the gunmen and those who are involved in criminal activities and those who have guns to save yourselves. Turn away from violence. Put away the gun. In fact, turn it in. And I ask the church to pray for them. so that their hearts will be touched, so they will turn away from criminal activity. Pray for them. It must be said that every life in Jamaica is valuable. Every life is valuable. And it pains my heart to see our young men, because 95% of those who are doing the killings and those who are killed are young men. Pains my heart to see our young men being killed. So I pray for them to stop killing, and I pray for them to save themselves. That's just the reality.
The Prime Minister said he's praying for them. But again, the Prime Minister is issuing a very strong warning. You remember he spoke about you meeting your judge, meeting the judge or your maker. Wow. Now the Prime Minister is saying, pray for them. Stop it, young men. In the meantime, the whole matter of constitutional reform is back on the agenda, with Delroy Chuck saying that he spoke to Mark, and Mark said, now meet with him. Here is Mr. Chuck.
Unfortunately, when I last spoke privately with the opposition leader, he tells me he's not going to have any meeting with me, as he said in his letter, until he meets with the Prime Minister. Truth of the matter is that it is quite clear that we need to get together as soon as possible. I will have a word with the Prime Minister about having that early meeting, because I think a lot can be accomplished to get us moving away from the monarchy to the Republican status. Both sides have agreed on that, and I think it is very unfortunate that the leader of the opposition, unfortunately, when I last spoke privately with the opposition leader, he tells me he's not going to have any meeting with me, as he said in his letter, until he meets with the Prime Minister.
Oh, you see that? You hear that? So Mark Bolin is saying, not meeting with Chuck until he meets with the Prime Minister. Wow.
The matter is that it is quite clear that we need to get together as soon as possible. I will have a word with the Prime Minister about having that early meeting, because I think a lot can be accomplished to get us moving away from the monarchy to the Republican status. Both sides have agreed on that, and I think it is very unfortunate that the leader of the opposition is putting the CCJ as a condition. I don't think it is fair for the leader of the opposition, the PNP or anyone, to put a condition precedent when we have an agreement as to the parliamentary system of government moving forward with a ceremonial president, because the final appellate court can take at least 6 forms. I would say to the leader of the opposition, let us move forward with the monarchy, and over the next 12 to 24 months, let us go and interact with the Jamaican people. And if we get a consensus as to what they want, or if there's a need for a referendum, let us move forward from there.
So Mark Topanaris Golding, Topanaris, behave yourself. Mark Topanaris Golding say he's not meeting with Chuck.
Jamaican identity can be brought to the fore, that we can have a Jamaican head of state who represents our Jamaicanness, who represents who we are as a people. And what do you know? The leader We are as a people, and what
Well, as Mr. Chuck presses for a meeting with Mr. Golden, I'm going to play for you again Miss Marlene Malahu Ford in Montego Bay. Go ahead.
do you know? The leader of the opposition has stood in the way of as a people.
You hear that? I don't know why the government don't just move on with the business of running the country and stop trying to meet with Mr. Golden. Mr. Golden is not interested in no meeting. This is the former constitution minister. She never got through. I don't know why Mr. Chuck think he's going to be successful. Listen.
And what do you know? The leader of the opposition has stood in the way of the change. And I say that we must take sleep and mark death, because Mark Golden cannot be trusted.
You hear that? You know, mainstream media is not telling you that. They're not carrying that to you. What's the sense meeting with a man that can't listen?
Unfortunately, when I last spoke privately with the opposition leader, he tells me he's not going to have any meeting with me, as he said in his letter, until he meets with the Prime Minister. Truth of the matter is that it is quite clear that we need to get together as soon as possible. I will have a word with the Prime Minister about having that early meeting, because I think a lot can be accomplished to get us moving away from the monarchy to the Republican status. Both sides have agreed on that, and I think it is very unfortunate that the leader of the opposition is putting the CCJ as a condition.
We have a hurricane approaching to the Bahamas.
What does it make any sense? Does it really make any sense to meet with Mark Topanaris Mark? I'm going to play the former minister already.
Cannot be trusted. Uncensored Jamaicanness, who represents who we are as a people. And what do you know? The leader of the opposition has stood in the way of the change. And I say that we must take sleep and mark death, because Mark Golden cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted.
So why it makes sense meet with him? Don't meet with him. It don't mean no make sense. He's standing in the way. He can't be trusted. Why are you meeting with him? Move on with the business of running the country. Quite frankly, the people of Jamaica care very little at this time about monarchy and constitutional reform. People of Jamaica want to get back their roof, build back their house, send them picnic to school. That is what the people of Jamaica is more concerned about now. Not meeting with Mr. Golden. Leave Mark Topanaris Mark. Wasting time. saying good evening to Chris. Hi. Chris 104, great. Hi, Keisha, how you doing? All right, so for your notes tonight, I'm going to go back to the matter of crime. Listen to Mr. Jackson, and I'm going to break this down for you. Okay, hold on.
Doesn't necessarily need to.
All right, great. So let's go back here and pick this up.
Crime reduction is desirable and must be pursued, but murder reduction.
All right, let's not go fast. If you have pen and paper.
Crime reduction is desirable.
Crime reduction is desirable.
And must be pursued.
And must be pursued.
But murder reduction doesn't necessarily mean to.
But murder reduction what?
A safe society.
Play it out.
Because in the society that we live, people must feel safe. If murders are down to zero and you're afraid to go through your door and you can't leave your windows and doors open, we have a problem. We don't have a murder problem, but we have a security problem. It is the sense of security that enhances the quality of life of our people. Crime reduction is desirable and must be pursued, but murder reduction doesn't necessarily mean to a safe society. Because in the society that we live, people must feel safe. If murders are down to zero and you're afraid to go through your door and you can't leave your windows and doors open, we have a problem. We don't have a murder problem, but we have a security problem. It is the sense of security that enhances the quality of life of our people.
Now, that was the opposition spokesman on national security, Mr. Fitz-Jackson, speaking to a reporter, a CVM reporter, on the grounds of Power of Faith yesterday. I don't want to criticize the reporter because I don't know if the reporter followed up with additional questions. It would be interesting to know. Because what Mr. Jackson said out there is a whole load of rubbish. It's absurd, quite frankly. Let's see if we can take a closer look at what Mr. Jackson is attempting to do. He starts out by saying that crime reduction is desirable and must be pursued. But then he goes on to say, murder reduction doesn't necessarily lead to a safe society. Let me play it again for you so that you hear him. Don't listen to me, listen to him.
Crime reduction is desirable and must be pursued, but murder reduction doesn't necessarily mean to a safe society.
Murder reduction does not necessarily lead to a safer society. That is what you call a false dichotomy. That is a false dichotomy, Mr. Jackson. Murder reduction is the key to a safe society. Jackson, you're talking rubbish. And I don't know if Mr. Jackson is, I don't know. Tired of them. Jesus, I'm tired. I'm tired. Jesus, I'm tired. I'm tired of having to come here every day and break these things down. Tired, you know, because it's just so simple. Listeners, please bear with me. I'm trying to find something here. That up. Okay, let's see if we can find something here. Let's go with that.
Listeners, please tap the screen and also please repost the live.
Oh gosh, I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
Maya Boshai, I'm tired. Jesus, I'm tired. My God, Maya Boshai, I'm tired. Jesus, I'm tired. My God. Maya Boshai, I'm tired. Jesus, I'm tired. My God, Maya Boshai, I'm tired. Jesus, I'm tired. My God.
Mr. Dwayne Vaz, Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Central, come up front. Today is the first day of the year, 2026, January.
Step out, to my clap for my foot. Back to the foot. You're in the sun.
All right, let's go back to Jackson. Murder reduction does not necessarily lead to a safe society. That's what Mr. Jackson said. Fitz Jackson, the opposition spokesman on national security, said that murder reduction does not necessarily lead to a safe society. I wonder if Mr. Jackson could come up here and let me and him have a talk about that. Mr. Jackson, or any member of the PNP that supports that. Anyone at all listening to this program tonight and listening to Mr. Jackson, hear him again. I don't want to.
Because in the society that we live, desirable and must be pursued, but murder reduction doesn't necessarily lead to a safe society.
There you go. Murder. So okay, let's be logical here. And let's examine Mr. Jackson's statement. If murder reduction does not lead to a safe society, why do you pursue it? Why did the PNP ask for a crime plan on the basis that murders were high? Why? Also, if murder reduction does not lead to a safe society, does increase in murder lead to a safe society? It no make no sense. It's a false dichotomy, Mr. Jackson. And I put it to you that murder reduction is a key to a safe society. Mr. Jackson then goes on to say, people must feel safe. Isn't murder reduction a crucial part of feeling safe? Let me ask all of you there listening to me, be honest with me. Do you feel safer in Jamaica today than you felt 10 years ago? Do you? Do you feel safer in Jamaica today by virtue of the fact that we have had a significant reduction in murders? Don't it make you feel safer? Does it make you feel Mr. Jackson goes on. He says, if murders are down to 0 and you are afraid to go through your door, we have a problem. And he says, we don't have a murder problem. We have a security problem. That is what you call semantics. There are several contradictions in Mr. Jackson's statement. One, Mr. Jackson acknowledges crime reduction is desirable, but downplays murder reduction's impact on safety. In other words, he's saying that the reduction of murder is not the same as safety. Secondly, he claims murder reduction isn't enough, yet he doesn't provide any alternative for safety. And thirdly, he implies that security is solely about perception. What? It is perception. Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jackson's statement reeks of defensiveness. And it indicates the PNP's struggle, the struggle that the PNP is having to just acknowledge that the government is being successful at this. It's just sad to listen. A little bit of spin doctoring, you know, he would make a very good spin bowler. Because what he's doing is shifting the focus from murder reduction to a sense of security. What he's attempting to do is to redefine the narrative. And in a sense, Mr. Jackson is lying by omission. He omits the fact that murder reduction is a key contributor to a safer society. As a matter of fact, in Jamaica, it is the key. It is what people look at to determine whether or not the society is safe. It is the amount of people murdered in Jamaica. What a disappointing response from a man expecting to sit in the seat of the National Security Minister. Mr. Jackson is absurd, because if murder reduction doesn't enhance security, why is it desirable to reduce crime? He says that murder reduction is desirable. Now, if it is not a key to reducing crime, why do you say it is desirable? If people feel unsafe, despite 0 murders, what's causing their fear? Imagine living in a society. Listeners, think about this with me. Imagine living in a society where there are 0 murders. 0? Then why would the people be afraid? Other crimes? Let me ask you a question, Jamaica. If, to underline the absurdity of Mr. Jackson's argument, it is so absurd. I don't expect a first form student to argue like this. Just imagine that, let's say murders in Jamaica were 3,000 last year. Jackson would have been calling for the resignation of the Minister of National Security. You can't say that murder is desirable, but then say people don't feel safe. The people will feel safe if there is 0 murders in your country. 0. Imagine a Jamaica where not one person is unalived. By Mr. Jackson's logic, a country with 0 murders but widespread robbery and assault isn't experiencing a security problem. Listeners, please share the live and tap the screen, please. This is amazing stuff. The live will be on YouTube. If it's not live now, I think you'll catch it tomorrow or some other time. We're gonna have to get the schedule from 2 Grand TV. Imagine a Jamaica where there is 0 murders. Let me tell you something, Mr. Jackson. We could manage the amount of tourists coming into this country and business and returning residents. Jackson, you're talking, you know, Mr. Jackson's statement is a master class in political spin, but he's not spinning very well at all. And he only gets away with this rubbish because there is not many in the traditional media that is going to hold them to account. attempted to obscure, that's what Jackson is doing, obscure the PNP's failure to acknowledge the government's achievements. But by highlighting the absurdities and the contradiction, we see that murder reduction is, listen carefully, murder reduction is a crucial aspect of enhancing security and the quality of life. If murders are high in your country, you don't feel safe. If murders are low in your country, you feel safe. That is a fact. And the people of Jamaica are feeling safe, whether Mr. Jackson believes that or not. That is not an opinion that I have. That's what the polls have said. And so the notion that murder reduction isn't a key aspect of a safe society is philosophically flawed. It is flawed. It's a flawed argument. You know, in what is called the social contract theory, John Locke's theory. John Locke argues that individuals surrender their right to self-defense. They do that to the state in exchange for protection. A society with unchecked murders fails to uphold this contract, the social theory contract. And that means that the state is illegitimate. And that is what happened to Jackson's government. They had an illegitimate government, a government that is failing in its social responsibility to the people. It's a breach of the social contract. So if murders are high in your country, your government is to be voted out, because that government is failing the citizens. It's a failed state. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, among them the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit, among them the right not to be taken lightly. When you have 1,700 people murdered in your country, that is a government that don't deserve to be re-elected. None, whether it is that side or this side. That's a failure. That's an illegitimate state. Because the state's primary goal is to ensure that the citizens are safe. And murders in this case becomes the ultimate threat. The ultimate threat to safety. And therefore, when you reduce murders, it is a fundamental aspect of the state's purpose. It would be very good to live in a society where there is zero murders. As a matter of fact, we once had that society. We once had that society. And I am sure that there are societies in the world where you don't have this many murders. And I'm sure that those people feel safe. What is Mr. Jackson talking about? That reducing murders don't necessarily mean that we are safe. Immanuel Kant describes what is called the categorical imperative. And the categorical imperative demands that we treat individuals as ends in themselves, not means to an end, but ends. Not means, ends. And you know, it probably, if Mr. Jackson is serious about that what he's saying, it probably explains why the PNP is failing so badly, you know, because it's how you see the people. If you see the people as means to an end and not ends in and of themselves, it's a categorical imperative, then you don't see your responsibility as the state to ensure the safety of these individuals, which is why in the past there were communities in Jamaica You know what? I won't even say that. I think you know where I was going. Make it stay. Allowing murders to persist reduces human life to a mere means. If a state that is why you need a state of emergencies. The PNP went to court. You need the Zozos. Jamaican people no wake up, no man. Wake the hell up. Wake up. Because if you are asleep, you know, you not seen what happen. If a government institutes a state of emergency, it is to save lives. And the PNP go to court, say they are standing up for people's right. What right you have when you're dead? You can't have right in a casket. It is nonsense. If the under the social contract theory, the citizens give up their rights for safety. They give it up to the state so that the state can protect them and keep them safe. And so when the government institutes a state of emergency, they do so to protect lives. Because the people are not a means to an end. The people are the end. It's them you need to cast the ballot. It's them you need. Without them, you don't win. It's how you see the people. And you violate this fundamental imperative if a government does not do everything to protect the life of its citizens. And I know you may say what you want to say, and label people how you want to label them. But this government and this prime minister is the greatest government by virtue of the fact that the imperative of life is taken seriously by them. Because that is why government exists. Government don't exist because to give you a part check, you know. Unnecessarily put house roof over your head. A safe society prioritizes life and dignity. So, Mr. Jackson, murder reduction is not only desirable, Mr. Jackson, murder reduction is not only desirable, sir. For the third time, because I think you need to hear it. Murder reduction is not only desirable, it is a moral obligation. It is a moral obligation of the state. It's not only a desirable, it is a moral obligation. Because by prioritizing crime reduction, we uphold the social contract and we ensure the state's legitimacy. You don't have a legitimate state when there is runaway murder. The state is not legitimate when gunmen take over your country and take over communities. Murder reduction is not only desirable, it is a moral obligation. Because in doing so, you uphold a social contract. You ensure the state's legitimacy and you affirm human dignity. And it is a cornerstone. Mr. Jackson, it is a cornerstone. Murder reduction is the cornerstone of a just and safe society. Thank you, Horace John. Thank you, Andrew Holness. Thank you to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We owe all of you a debt of gratitude. Mr. Jackson, don't see that? I think it is absurd to suggest that if murders are down, people don't feel safe. It's an absurdity. And the absurdity lies in implying murder reduction isn't a key part of security. It is. It's a crucial aspect of security. It's like saying we don't have a health problem, we have a medical problem. It's like saying we don't have a health problem, we have a medical problem. It's semantic and it misses the point. You know, Adam Smith spoke of the poverty of aspirations. The poverty of aspiration. And I think there is an urgent call for Jamaica to wake up, you know. Because I think the poverty of aspirations has infested the minds of the comrades. Mr. Blair, yeah. I see the opposition struggling to acknowledge in Jamaica's progress. And the Prime Minister calls it bad mind. Do I have that? Do I have that? I think I do. The Prime Minister calls it bad mind.
That's on YouTube and TikTok. The bad mind us. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And
I think that he has a point, you know. It's woeful. I urge Jamaica to take note. The poverty of aspirations. Murders are down, but we're not safe. What a spin.
YouTube and TikTok. The bad mind us. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And they are bad minding us for doing the things that you have always wanted.
Comrades, a bad mind, no bad mind, or what? A bad mind, no bad mind? Tell me. A bad mind? A bad mind, no bad mind? Or what? Huh?
This is a boy there. Him fool.
I can't play the Vibes Cartel, you know. It's a little too hot for them. It's bad mind. I'm going to. It's a bad mind. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah. So bad. This devil need a intro. No blood clot boy.
No, not it. It's bad. I tell you the truth. You load up the wrong song on the thing for me. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. No, boy, I tell you.
Bad mind song. Glasses boy, are your bad mind song. Are your friend that it on a day me gonna know we spoil like on.
Oh boy, I tell you something. It's fantastic. Oh, it's fantastic to listen to all of this and
TikTok. The bad mind us. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And they are bad minding us for doing the things that you have always wanted a government to do. And when they had power for all this time, they never do it.
Come on, Haas can win Derby. By the way, moderator.
Yes, neighbor.
I think we should ask our listeners to make their contributions to our program. We only have 26 minutes. Coming back to you. Coming back. Bad mind. Bad mind. And when the bad mind is now taking over the politics and the politicians, bad mind Jamaica. some people in the chat saying shower. Love that. And love that.
And TikTok. The bad mind, the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. The bad mind, the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And they are bad minding us for doing the things that you have all to do and TikTok. The bad mind, the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. The bad mind, the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And they are bad minding us for doing the things that you have always wanted a government to do. And when they have power for all this time, they never do it. And as soon as we start to do it, they try to turn.
I tell you, come. Moderator, let's ride and whistle. Let's ride and whistle. Time is against us. Let's go in. Keep that up and let me go out. Let me keep going. Okay, moderator. Okay. The whole concept of bad mind is to be examined. The struggle by some to acknowledge Jamaica's success, to acknowledge Jamaica's progress. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, for Jamaica has made progress. No question about that. This land, this country called Jamaica, she has made progress. Over the last 10 years, especially, the transformation of this land has been phenomenal. From an indebted country. You know, Mr. Golin once said, Chichi, eat out some people's brain, and it got him into trouble. But good God, man. You can't have a 40% reduction in crime. And the struggle that some are having may be rooted in the poverty of aspirations. Because you see, having been out of power for a decade, they might be stuck in a nostalgic past, struggling to recognize the transformative changes that are on the way in Jamaica. It's the nostalgic past that the PNP is stuck in. So Adam Smith is correct. You know, it's rest sentiment. It's a state of being defined by the past grievances and unable to move forward. The PNP is fixated on past achievements, and their criticisms might be a manifestation of this. It is hindering their ability to see Jamaica's current progress. And what Mr. Fitzjackson exemplifies is this mindset. Because when he downplays crime reduction, he's clinging to a narrative of stagnation. But the PNP doesn't understand progress. They don't know what it looks like. For under their stewardship, Jamaica barely moved. Did you know, listeners, that the PNP coined a term called negative growth? I'm going to deal with that. And let me write it down so I can remember. Negative growth. When they fail to grow the economy. And I remember Omar Davis coming on the Breakfast Club come talk about negative growth. Absurd. Their time at the wicket, they never put any runs on the board. And now that there is a batsman out there knocking boundaries, hooking sixes over the boundary, they can't applaud it. Can't applaud it. It's as if they are saying, if we didn't do it, it didn't happen. It's almost like they are saying, if we did not do it, it didn't happen. And this country needs to wake up, because many in the society are hypocrites. Hypocrites. And the concept that this is PNP country is not a far-fetched idea. For I can tell you that were the PNP in power and had a 43% reduction in crime, it would be on every headline. And every news organization in Jamaica would be talking about it. Every civil society group. Yeah? And the PNP themselves would make heavy weather of it. And it probably would redound to them remaining in power for 20 years. But no, it's Labour Party doing it. So it not happen. Because somehow the Labour Party is not Jamaica's party. The PNP for some reason thinks that they own the country and they are the government. And they said it, you know. And we always believe that it is best for the for us to form the administration. So anything that will lead us or cause us to be in power, we believe is best for the country. Not in today's Jamaica. This poverty of aspiration is a prison. And the prison is limiting their vision for Jamaica. And that's why they're unable to come up with alternative prescriptions. Because they are prisoned by the past. The 18.5 years of mismanagement has locked them in a prison. I'm not throwing political barbs. I'm being analytical and truthful. It's a psychological state of being that you have to emerge out of. For when you look back at your record and you realize that you couldn't do this, it's like a man who picks up a woman, battered, bruised, poverty, hungry, and he turns her around, fix her up, she look nice and sexy again. And the man she left, bad mind. He keeps cussing her because he can't believe, say, that which he treated so bad is now looking so good. Listeners, coming back to you. Here's the Zelle account, 954-635-8732. Asking you to take a break and send $10. Just $10 or $20 to that account, please. Let's do that in a minute or two. Let me get back to this and wrap it up. I have much more to say. I don't have a lot of time. Let's do it. Come on.
Iron! Jesus got tired! My God!
aspirations is a prison. It's a prison. And it is limiting their vision. They're trapped in a zero-sum game where acknowledging progress would validate their opponents. But my listeners, Jamaica's growth isn't a zero-sum game, because a rising tide, hear me tell you, Jamaicans, a rising tide lifts all boats. A rising tide lifts all boats. And if Jamaica succeeds, every one of you, comrades, labor rights, no rights, will succeed. Paradox, listeners. Let me wrap this up. It's a paradox because a political party seeking government, work with me for 5 more minutes. A political party seeking government should want to lead a thriving nation, not a broken one. Because logically, inheriting a successful country is preferable, because it gives you a solid foundation to build on. And so the PNP's stand seems counterintuitive, because it is leading to the conclusion that bad mind and petty politics might be at play. Don't you want a country that is thriving? Or you prefer Jamaica to fail so you can reign over the ashes? It's a destructive dynamic where the party is prioritizing regaining power over national progress. That's disappointing. We're 6 minutes to 10 o'clock, and let me see if I can go to the calls. Have you done your part yet, listeners? 954-635-8732. $10. Are you there, caller? Stylish? Stylist, are you there? Stylist, are you there? Harry?
Hey, boss. Hey, everybody.
Harry, murder reduction doesn't necessarily lead to a safe society. What do you think?
It has more than one layers to it. It's an indicator though that I would say to potentially a safer society. Because it simply means something is being done right. Legally, right? And that in its entirety is something a society would want to have. But again, as I said, there's more than one layers to it, but it definitely allows for greater confidence throughout that said society.
But if murders are high, Harry, in your society, it is an indication that there's a crisis, there's a problem, people will feel unsafe.
And people will be unsafe, right? And it will definitely not be a society that bodes well in terms of confidence for external persons to come in, especially investors and even local investors just the same, because it means that whatever you put together to help move society, a business or so on, it means that it is a possibility that business or infrastructure that they put in could face some level of criminality coming up against it, whether that may be extortion or so on. Because with a high murder rate, it simply means that there's some level of organization, illegal organizational structure that is flourishing, right? But if that murder rate goes down, it simply means that there has to be some level of dent or crack put into that said illegal organization that would have had a driving force on the upper end.
No, imagine with me a society where there is zero murder. What would Jamaica look like that at that time?
Well, neighbor, to be honest, you know, I mean, it's idealistic, to be honest. But with a zero murder rate, it simply means that you would have now become a model for the world, for others to study, for others to embody, to know exactly what you have done, how you've achieved it, how you continue to maintain those levels. And as such, there will be even greater confidence in that said society for every and anybody, whether locally, regionally, and or internationally, to want to be a part of that said society, neighbor. And also would point to a good moral compass of that society.
What is failing? Why is the PNP failing, Harry, to acknowledge this as a progress for Jamaica? Is it that they are suggesting that if they didn't do it, it didn't happen? What's the problem here?
Well, two sides to it, neighbor. You raise I'd say a valid point. Many persons may not think so, but there is a level to it where people have agendas where if they don't do it, it's either not done or it's not done right. In this case, the first statement is true, because the opposition is coming off as if they weren't the one who did it and they're the best thing since sliced bread when it comes on to handling crime, which is not true. And as such, they are in denial, to put it that way, to accept that something great can be done from the opposite end of them. And them also accepting publicly, declaring it publicly, would put them even in a worse light, because one, they didn't achieve that said feat. In fact, it did the opposite. It increased drastically under their tutelage over a few decades or 2 decades, right? And as such, there's a level of guilt as well involved, neighbor, because you're guilty that you failed the people. And as such, you want to save face. So if you don't acknowledge it, it's almost like it never happened. But the truth is, it did happen. It's just that the opposition needs to come to terms with it. And I think they're suffering from the ability to find a good spin, a positive spin for them. So as what's happening now, they're trying to find loopholes to discredit the administration for said achievement. But really and truly, they're failing themselves and the people at the same time.
A profound paradox at play here, Harry. A political party seeking government should want to lead a country that is thriving. Wouldn't you agree with that?
It should, neighbor. Because
but then how do you campaign for power if the country is not failing?
So the thing with it, if the country is not failing, neighbor, so let's say it's a party that knew how to handle the affairs of the people and didn't respond in a way where they fed on the lack of and the ignorance of the people. If it's an opposition that would have wanted well for the people, then simply, neighbor, they would have found ways to enhance and to improve what is there. But the truth is, currently, that is not the situation. In fact, the opposition, rather to the current administration fail at something, not to the detriment where the country can't come back, but to have what I call a ha-ha moment where they said, see, I told you. And that ha moment, neighbor, will come at the expense of Jamaican people, which doesn't bode well. So the opposition wants to find loopholes and things that didn't go well so that they can point it out, rather than to look at it and improve what is already there. Because if it's not broken, you don't fix it, you just improve. And I think for them, neighbor, they haven't come to terms on that type of governance, right? Because when they were government, they didn't employ such strategies, and as such, they didn't have the same achievements.
The stance, though, is what is called is counterintuitive, because what could be the possible explanation for you to obviously be denying something that everybody else is realizing is a good thing? And this is where it comes down to the Jamaican vernacular of bad mind. Is it bad mind at play here, Harry?
Neighbor, it's for me personally, I don't like the word bad mind, right? Because I think there's more to it than just that. I think what happened is that the opposition is stuck on a conveyor belt of an ideology that it has gone so bad that if they now, quote unquote, jump ship from that ideology, because they did pick a side, and the side is to tear down and demonize and not work with the administration. And as such, if they suddenly change from that, neighbor, then they would see themselves as traitors to the party. Because remember, it's party first.
Would it diminish the PNP's relevance if they were to come out and commend the government for this? Would the PNP's relevance be diminished?
It would, neighbor, because what's happening, the opposition currently, and this may sound harsh, does not have a strong leg to stand on, because a lot is happening in the background for them, and they have not shone brightly for the people in this disaster or for this year overall. And as such, for them to now credit the current administration for a landmark achievement, something that hasn't been done in 3 decades, a decade that include them saying that Jamaica was one of the best countries in the region and they were booming. So if they're now to say and accept that this government has done it and done it well, they are now putting to shame everything that they have done, and they can't stand to do that. So they are now the side that they chose, they're sticking with it come hell or high water, and that's exactly what is being done.
Is there a case to be made that it might be that they are stuck in the past? In other words, being out of power for so long, they might be stuck in that kind of nostalgic past, struggling to recognize the transformative changes that are happening in Jamaica. Is it that somehow the PNP need to let go of the past and just get with the times to realize the progress Jamaica is making, and just work with that?
Well, I have put that forward before, neighbor, in terms of them. Even last night when I stated that they should let go of who they are to then become who they should be for the people. But from what we know, and if you hear the People's National Party supporters who are tribalists and so on, you'd realize that they still cling heavily on what they call their root political base, which is the manlyism and so on, even though it's not relevant to today's society. So what they're doing is that they're being so dogmatic because they don't think the change, Jamaica need that change. They think that Jamaica is for them, so they're very arrogant in this stance. And hence the time come thinking the Jamaican people will relinquish, let the Jamaica Labour Party relinquish power by the people voting them out so that they could get it back and then putting back what they are known for. And the truth is, neighbor, they know that Jamaica has undergone a transformative change, but they just don't want to accept that change because they weren't the one who instigated or brought that change to the forefront. Because the truth is, if you listen to how they speak, you would think they have done and innovate in terms of innovation, that they brought the most innovation to the country. And when you hold on to that idea and you don't willing to change, neighbor, then this is what the end result is. But I'm appealing also on the other end that the opposition needs to realize that they have to change not just within and not just change leadership that they did in 2020, but they need a philosophical and ideological change. They need to revamp their mission statement and vision statement as well for the people, because what they have, I would want to say, is archaic and has become obsolete. And that is what's hurting their relevance.
Fantastic. Gustav? Hello?
This is my neighbor. Greetings, Ari. And everybody.
Yes.
My background neighbor might not always be the best, but let me see how it goes from here.
Yes. Go ahead.
And likewise the connection, but I am assuming that you're hearing me still, but
Yes,
it's
we are
kind of
hearing
like
you.
pause right now from my end. No.
We are hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm still here then.
Okay. I'm not.
Yeah, the connectivity still is a problem here for some parts
No,
in
man. No, man.
Northeast
You're
St.
right.
Elizabeth, where I'm
You're
at.
right.
No. So you're probably hearing me, or others might be hearing me, but I'm not hearing at the moment from your end.
A safe society. Because in the society that we live, people must feel safe. If murders are down to zero and you're afraid to go through your door and you can't leave your windows and doors open, we have a problem. We don't have a murder problem, but we have a security problem. It is the sense of security that enhances the quality of life of our people. Crime.
All right. What do you understand, Mr. Jackson, to be the point Mr. Jackson is making there?
From that, Mr. Jackson is actually trying to dissect or separate types of crimes to let it seem as if you remove one type of crime, it doesn't have a major effect on society in itself. And that, for him, may be deemed smart, but it's something you can see right through. Because what the mistake he made was selected one of the most gruesome types of crime. And that gruesome type of crime would have been what has been holding back Jamaica significantly. So he blundered there to try and make a point. Kudos to him for the attempt. But the truth is you cannot separate that type of criminal activity and let it seem as if it is insignificant to what is happening in the country.
What do you credit, Harry, in your own view, what do you credit the reduction in crime to, in broadly? What do you credit that for?
Well, I credit it to a few things. I'll just probably narrow it down for two. One has been the improving technological advancement being employed in the act of policing. Because the truth is, Jamaica wasn't doing proper policing, neighbor. And policing is a broad thing. How you do investigation, how you do your, what do you call it? Their raids, for lesser terminology, how they go about all of that. They've now employed so much more when it comes down to that era, because truth is, especially weaponry, the truth is we were being outsmarted. The police was being outsmarted from the technological aspect. They definitely were being outgunned, for sure. And as such, we placed that greater emphasis on it over several years to get it to a level that is as good, if not better, than what they're going up against. The next thing is the act of improving legislation. One of the things, the Anti-Gang Act that was put in place, that did well. I know most persons don't understand it fully as to how it would contribute, but it did significantly. And as such, we had one of the, as I think they call it, the trial of the century for the Caribbean. That in itself disarmed one of the major gangs in Jamaica. They also went after several others. So it broke up a lot of these gangs. So the organization was scrambled. And as such, with any thing that you want to carry out, you have to have an organization for it to work. And when you disrupt that, it takes a while to build itself back, if it ever comes back as well. The other part to it, neighbor, has been, I think, the greater involvement of more stakeholders. That includes more of the private sector. That includes the government, its institutions that is linked to the government. It also brought down to the ground level of communities. Because barring what we see on social media, that people hate the police and all of that, neighbor, the truth is, that is just what they put out. People actually work with the police, but it's not something you're going to publicize in a way where it puts your potential informants at risk. Because one of the things I don't think people understand is that program, I don't remember the name, when you do get these informants and so on, that you send them away, for over a decade, Jamaica has not lost anybody that went on that program and won several high-profile cases. That improved drastically. So when we look at it to see how all of this comes into play, neighbor, with the stakeholders that weren't with the government before at this level, at this integral moment, and seeing them come together, it worked well. Now, of course, there's more room to the protection program, right? So, of course, there's more room for growth and to advance it. In fact, neighbor, the thing that we saw where there was the IPO, the initial public offering for, I think it was what? I don't remember the full name of it, that the private sector put together, the PSOJ, where funding came separate from the government. That was Jamaican people investing in Jamaica. And a large portion of the diaspora also contributed to that funding, neighbor. So again, it brought even more stakeholders elsewhere, which showed the confidence of not just the people in Jamaica, but the confidence in the administration as well. And these things coming together like a melting pot, neighbor, has brought to us this sensation, this result that we all should be happy about, that we should raise our hats and say we're thankful and appreciate it. So there's a lot of things, but for me, those are some of the things that when we placed it and look at them in greater detail, you saw how they work well. They were interdependent and they work extremely well. So we could get this result.
Okay. The sensationalism aspect of it, Harry, because the society really not understanding some of what you just spoke about, knows though that if the murder rates in Jamaica are high, that there's a problem. They may not know exactly how to fix it or how it is fixed, but for sure, the gauge to security in the country is the amount of people that is murdered. No, so?
It is, neighbor. It is. And that is that broad aspect of it is what the average persons or people will look at. That is their indicator. That is what they can see if they don't have in-depth information on these policies and this legislation and so on.
It's not only their indicator. It is a fundamental indicator in terms of how a country is managing crime and security. No, so?
That is it, neighbor.
Because the reverse is also true. That if you have a lot of your people being unalive, people are going to be fearful and people are going to feel unsafe. And even the opposition themselves would be calling for some action because of the amount of lives that are being taken. So it's always how many people are unalive in the country.
Exactly. Right. And the opposition did do what they do best, neighbor, oppose a lot of the strategies that was put forward without having an alternative. In fact, with it being a major indicator for economic advancement through local investment, because I don't want people to focus on external investment. When I say local, I am alluding to the contents of potential business personnel that want to create businesses, not just to benefit themselves, but to benefit the country. That was in an all-time low. But with the reduction gradually happening, and then this major reduction of 43%, that in itself now inspires businesses to come again, or people to have the confidence to say, yes, I may not have to face extortion, I may not have to face this aspect. Because what it does when murder rates are this high, you may have to close, depending on where you're located, your business may have to close early, which affects your productivity. It also affects the ability of that businesses, those businesses growing, which would help employ.
So for the first time in 30 years, your murder numbers are fallen below 700, which means that the consciousness of the people would be a society of violence. That is the psychological state of mind that the country is in, where violence was part of the social transaction. In other words, we probably never even felt that this could be solved. As a matter of fact, do you notice that in Jamaica, we celebrate death? It's a fascinating thing, you know, because you see how we plan funerals? We have taken the mourning out of it. So 9 nights are big things in Jamaica, you know, and repasses. And that is because we had to find a way to mourn. Yeah. You know, it's escalades that they use in Jamaica, you know, and marching bands. and so forth. This is part of how Jamaicans mourn. It's to lessen the pain on the society. And so the society will now have to transition from a society of fear, society where violence permeates the atmosphere and the environment. And it's going to take a little time for people to make that shift to saying, wow, are we really where we are? Are you back with me, Harry? Are you back with me?
Here, Nemo.
Do you not agree? Do you not agree that the society had fixed itself into a mode of violence where it is happening and they're not even aware?
No, but the society over time has become desensitized of criminal activities. It was normalized that because I've seen firsthand, for example, using Spanish Town, you would be going to your business or going to school and you hear that somebody just got shot there 10 minutes ago and everybody's back to normal, like it never happened, and you're like, but somebody just died, and it just seemed like the norm, especially in that area.
Yeah. Well, Harry,
For you I'd give
a little bit more of that.
you come for me, you're afraid, and you love them.
Yeah. Do you notice that when dogs mate, they stuck? Blueberry, tell me why. Tell me why they stuck. Same place.
No place I will.
It's a matter of education, eh? It can happen for men who struggle with what is called premature ejaculation. You don't have to ejaculate. By the way, Mr. Cox, you know that you don't have to come, sir.
For you.
You don't have to come, Mr. Cox. You don't have to. All right. It's largely cultural and taught. But in our culture, we're a culture of where we are taught about size. So in the Jamaican context, it's about size. Our culture revolves around not sex, rum, juke. That's how we get it. Juker. And we have songs like Agony, eh? So it's about the man. Juki jam. It's a juki jam. So it's largely a cultural phenomenon. It's about pain rather than pleasure. And I will tell you that this is why the introduction of the rose now replacing men. A lot of women are so happy that the rose came about. For many Jamaican men have not a clue. That's going to be it for tonight, 10 to 9 o'clock. Catch you tomorrow. I'm beginning to feel better already. Sharon Lynch, you want me to talk about that tomorrow? All right, or Sunday, okay? All right, that's it for me tonight. I'll check out with you. I promise you that I'll give you a little bit more some other night. All right, bye-bye. Take care of yourselves. Have a great night. Take care. Thank you, Caroline, for the extra time. Bye-bye. All right, Daphne, I tell you what you do, Daphne. Talk to the moderator and let us do a let us do a nighttime show. All right, we don't talk politics, we talk sex. Can you do that, Daphne? But for subscribers only. All right, we talk relationship and sex, and we uncover that. All right. Selburn Cox, you'd be interested in that, sir? Might even do a okay, right.